Last time out in the Powerade Truck Series, we saw a bomb runner race at one of the best mile and a halves on the schedule, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A ton of great racing and some strategy with 2 tires versus 4. And this time, unlike Nashville, 4 tires got the job done, and Shane Kane got his first win on the channel. Chris Jericho has still dominated this season, but with 6 races to go, 1 bad race, and 10 to 12 drivers will all have a chance in the final 5. It is the second and final road course race of the season, and it is the Kubota 175k at Willow Springs International for the second race of the West Coast Swing. What's up, everyone? It's your boy NR2003, aka Nathan Stapleton here, and welcome back for the second week in a row for the West Coast Swing. We were at Las Vegas last week, and now we are at Willow Springs here tonight, and of course Pikes Peak. Never been there for next week to wrap up the West Coast Swing. We are getting down to it, to the end of the season. It's been a very fun season. Even though Jericho has won 4 times, it's been a lot of fun. And we're gonna see how it all goes down. The second and final road course race on the season. The first one at Watkins Glen, all the way back at, I believe, race 2, or race 3, something like that. It was very chaotic. And firstly, Mendoza was able to get the race win. Mendoza 7th in the points, still with a chance at the championship, trying to sweep the road course races. We got Matthew Hubert back up here in the booth, and once again, welcome to Willow Springs, a very fast and sometimes chaotic road course.
Yeah, especially it's going to be chaotic at the start of the race here. With how tight some of the corners are, you'll need to be very careful. Even if you start up front, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be safe from going off the road there. And with what we've seen, it could be a wild one there.
Absolutely. This racetrack is kind of like it's kind of Watkins Glen, but one big difference is that it is very, very narrow, and if you go off wide, most of the time we're gonna go into the dirt. So, gotta see of how that all goes down. A really fast road course and a very small road course as well. And we gotta see how it goes down. About 1 minute and 15 seconds on the lap time. So it's only 15 laps. This race will fly on by. But what do you think we will see here at Willow Springs, with this being kind of a regular stop on the schedule now for the series on this channel? And how do you think this will go with Logan Williams on the pole for the second race in a row?
Not entirely sure how the race is going to play out here. Strategy might play a role into who gets the race win here, and especially with some of the guys up here inside the top 10, we don't usually see up front, like, for instance, Carson Miller, Emily York Watson, William Ayers there, Aaron Abel. And is that both the CR7 cars inside the top 12 there? And
So.
Santi Messi and Josh Williamson with very good opportunities to get a good run here.
Yeah, there's a lot of new drivers up towards the front here in this one, and we kind of saw that at Watkins Glen. We saw some drivers that were up front in that race that we haven't really seen all season long, and we got some new drivers once again. This is kind of an equalizer, and it's been very competitive throughout the grid this year. And yeah, some of those drivers that you mentioned, Santi Messi, he's been up front a few times. Josh Williamson's been up front a few times. William Ayers is up front. And we gotta see how it all goes down here in this one with just 6 races to go in season 6 of the Powerade Truck Series. Chris Jericho has been dominant this season. 4 wins, 6 top 5, 7 top 10s, and an average finish of 8.8. And he has a 31-point lead over his teammate Juan Garcia, but he starts 20th here tonight. Logan Williams with his second pole in a row. He has as many top 10s as Juan Garcia and Chris Jericho with 7. So he's been one of those more consistent drivers this season. and he is 39 points behind Duncan Wood in 4th, minus 47. Ben Watson in 5th, minus 51. Nick Lopez having a very quiet, inconsistent season for the split. Was part of that 1-2 finish last week at Las Vegas, and running inside the top 6 in the points. First road course race winner of Felicity Mendoza in 7th in points, minus 65. Nicholas Samudio in 8th, minus 69. Alexander Lowe in 9th, minus 69. And Emily York Watson rounds out the top 10 here, minus 70. And we gotta see how it all goes down. Jericho has a big lead, but we still got some wild cards left in the final 6 races of Willow Springs, Pikes Peak, and then, of course, Talladega, Darlington, Martinsville, and then Atlanta, I believe, are the final 6 races. So still got some wild cards here. And it is Logan Williams with his 3rd pole on the season now in this number 17 truck for Tricon, and Carson Miller alongside him in 2nd. With Jericho in 3rd, and Duncan Wood in 4th, Emily Watson in 5th, and Lim is in 6th. Mae Radford inside the top 10 in 7th, and Alexander Lowe in 8th. And April and St. Messi round out the top 10. And then our first road course race winner of Felicity Mendoza and Josh Williamson in 11th and 12th. And just gonna go through the rest of the field, and we gotta see what all goes down here in this one. Race number 11 on the season, and I'm gonna leave it up to you. The second and final road course race of the season. Who's for Pit Matthew to win the Kubota 175k?
It's probably gonna be a bit of a wild card race here, as you already said, which is why I'm going for the outside pulse here for win today's race. Carson Miller in the 75.
Not bad pit. Definitely a bounce back season for Carson Miller here in the Powerade Truck Series compared to what happened in the Krispy Kreme National Series. Won at Talladega earlier in the year, but has been more consistent. Top 15, top 20 in points, 16th in points. And he was up front at the last road course race as well. Top 5, top 10 there. Here we go, 15 laps on tap here today for race 11 on the season. The local wins for the 3rd time on the season is on the pole with Carson Miller alongside. And we are racing for the Kubota 175k at Willow Springs International. Oh boy, Logan Williams goes wide, and they are looking behind him. The chaotic first lap, and everyone's off. Oh my goodness, this is a huge one on lap number 1.
Jericho's upside down, I believe. That is huge implications for the championship.
Jericho is upside down. Nick Lopez and April. So many drivers involved, and that is not what I was expecting. We've seen carnage on lap 1 here, but not like that. And Jericho had a 31-point lead, and that might be down the gutter, especially if Local Williams wins here today.
You know what I said early on in the race preview about making sure you're clean on the first lap? That is exactly the worst possible scenario Chris Jericho would have had there, as Miller goes down the outside past the 17 and leading lap number 1.
Oh my goodness, that's the biggest wreck I've seen on a road course, Matthew. You guys will see multiple angles of what happened there in the corner of the screen. That was bad. That was a multi-truck incident if I've ever seen one, and that's going to have huge championship implications. Lap number 2 is being led by Carson Miller in the number 71 or 75. Like I said, was strong in the first road course race at Watkins Glen. But Logan Williams, this could be his moment of redemption here in the point standings. In second, Duncan Wood, New York Watson, Alexander Lowe, Mendoza, Octavian Speeds is on the move. Benny Watson, Santi Messi, Caleb Rose, Anthony Hernandez. Oh my goodness. We still have got a lot of trucks all crammed in here. That's the top 18. But besides that, everyone else was involved in that wreck in some shape or form here in this one. And so many trucks on pit lane. Chaotic start, and these guys are going off course more than anticipated. But side by side, back there with Benny Watson and I believe the 97 of Santi Messi. But right now, it is all Logan Williams trying to chase down Costa for this race win. And we will have pit stops around lap 10 here today. And a good start so far from the top two.
Yeah, and especially here, Logan Williams, I believe he's still reeling on what happened during the chase back in the National Series, especially the JBL Cup Series race at Martinsville, trying to get an advantage any way he could, and that's a pretty good advantage there. And also, Duncan Ward, 4th in points there. Haven't really mentioned him yet. And Alexander Rowe, great recovery there from especially the first half of the season there. Now, finally cracking the top 10, and not less, forget Felicity Mendoza, winner of the Watkins Glen race, also inside the top 10.
And there's a real chance, depending on what happens with strategy in this race, Mendoza could win both of them in
That isn't planned, is it?
That cannot be planned. I mentioned the strategy is just 10 laps on fuel, and that is not what I was anticipating. The 32, 15, 76, and 25 all on pit lane. Strategy's been all over the place this season. It's about 8 to 10 laps on fuel. So I don't know what that is all about. It's contact with Fernandez and Benny Watson. So this is a race that we don't know what to expect. I knew what to expect, but nothing is going the way I anticipated.
Yeah, and especially there. Not sure if Williams is closing into the 75 or not. He's at least keeping ground with him. And so is Duncan Ward. Ward actually got passed by Emily York Watson there. Not sure if we've seen that at all yet, but yeah, Emily York Watson's currently up to 3rd right now. Unless she does pit. Doesn't look like it, so not sure what the strategy is with those 4 trucks lap previous.
Yeah, that was some interesting strategy because it should be about lap 9 to lap 10 here today, so I don't think they can even make enough fuel from where they were unless they got damage from that first wet. And then there's about ton Benny Watson, about ton them again. Classic Hernandez in that number 2 truck. And he's almost turning Watson again. Whew.
Oh.
Boy, oh
he
boy.
doesn't really want to do that. He might find himself off the side of that cliff there. In a few laps or so there, still battling there. This is the battle for 6th place right now, so kind of guess where Hernandez is getting there, being aggressive and all. And speaking of passing there, Alexander Rowe's now up to the 4th position, getting by Duncan Ward in the 52 there. Not sure how much time he'll have to maybe catch up to the top 3. We'll have to see.
Maybe. I think the top 5 have a really good shot. There is some Tyler here. A little bit more than what you would expect about a second and a half. So, gotta have a long one in car. And then, of course, strategy will take into effect towards the end with a pit stop around lap 10. And that's been the main thing this season. Has been a lot of strategy and 2 tires versus 4. And we'll see what ends up happening. Emily York Watson is absolutely flying in the 0-2 truck for John Andrews. Was strong at the start of the season. Has cooled off a little bit in the middle part. Still top 10 in the point standings. And might have a shot at this race win here today. Closing in on the number 17. But Carl's been a great job with Charlie Davenport as the team owner. Has been really good at the road courses at Watkins Glen and Willow Springs. And I'm excited for what Charlie Davenport can do in the JBL Cup Series next season as a owner, because he's shown flashes in the 75 truck with this pairing of Carson Miller, and excited what he can do next year. And speaking of which, we are getting closer to the JBL Truck Series season number 7 next year, and that's gonna be a lot of fun. And local winners want some revenge. Here next year, begin with some revenge. This year, still going for a championship, and it is wide open after lapping on lap number 1. And we are about 4 to 5 laps away from pit stops. Feels pretty evenly split out throughout the top 10, top 15. Martin Garcia just sent Durrani into the pit lane. The only bright side is that Durrani can make a fuel from here.
Yeah, Durrani might be going fielder about 7 laps or so. Not sure really. But yeah, Carson Miller might be pulling away from the 17th there. Now 1.1 second gap there. York Watson was fading a bit there. And Alexander, she still has a second gap to Alexander Rowe, so doesn't need to worry about losing third place for now. And Hernandez is gaining quite a bit on Duncan Ward. Not sure what the setup is on the 52, but surely not a long run car.
Absolutely, and I think I'm noticing a trend. I believe Hernandez was inside the top 10 at Watkins Glen as well. So some of these drivers just got a edge on these road courses this season in the Powerade Truck Series in both of them. And he's going to try and take this 5th spot away. Hernandez to the inside of Duncan Ward. And Hernandez is going to get side by side into turn 1. Going to lose some of his advantage here in this corner. And Hernandez is going to maintain in the 6th position. Yeah. How about Emily York Watson? You were saying maybe a long run car for Road 2 and not the 52. Watson all over the back bumper. I believe this was another driver that was strong at Watkins Glen. Oh, gets into Logan Williams.
Contact!
Oh my goodness.
A little bit of contact there for York Watson. Hopefully the damage isn't too bad there. But, man, talk about cutting it a bit close there. All over the back bumper of the 17. Did close a gap there between himself and Williams to a quarter second now. Rowe was looking to try and get by them, but went wide that lap by. So not sure about that. And York Watson's coming into the pits.
Probably to fix that damage, but maybe to open up.
And crown spin as well.
Past halfway, lap 8 to lap 9. And I think this is going to open up the main cycle now.
Yeah, definitely. There, some trucks pin there early. Not sure. We'll need to check, especially on the 02, if Emily York Watson to see how much damage.
Oh, they fixed the
O2
damage.
Really, 2? Is that 2 times?
Let's see if they took. I think 2, but they had to fix the damage. I saw them trying and fix the hook buckle. So York Watson is going to lose ground after the pit stops. As we are getting very aggressive everywhere here. And Logan is closing significantly on Carson Miller. And maybe he's trying to gain as much time as possible before pit lane. And you gotta think, are they gonna have to try and fix that 17? I don't think the 17 needs to be fixed. Still has to be fast, but we'll see if Carson Miller pits this time by. And he will. And
Okay, Williams stays out. As does Benny Watson, I believe.
Yep.
Pretty much everyone else is going to the pit lane. Juan Garcia staying out there. Although got passed there by Sustry. About there for about 16th or so. Garcia's gonna gain some points on. These guys are taking 2 tires.
2 tires. I think that's the way to go.
Is no one gonna take 4?
Oh!
Oh, contact there between
The 99 and
Messi and
97.
Caleb. Duncan Ward, really slow pit stop.
Slow pit stop from Duncan Wood. He took 4 tires.
Oh,
He's the only one that's took 4
that's
tires from what I've seen. And yeah, he's the only one. Everyone else
maybe
has
you're
done 2.
unable. Now we'll need to see if these guys take 4 tires or not. We're
Oh
5
boy.
laps to go. Williams, is he going to... I assume he's going to pit this time by.
Yep.
But what will the strategy be?
We've seen mostly 2, but that's interesting. Duncan Wood took 4 tires, and we've seen at Nashville and Las Vegas, 4 tires is better than 2 late in the run. So this is going to be very interesting. Nick Lopez is staying out. Don't know if he was involved in the lap 1 incident or not. And Logan Williams has the number 1 pit stall with that pole here today. And it's going to be 2 tires there. And it's going to be 2 tires. 2 tires for Logan Williams. There's Carson Miller in the 75. It's going to be close. It's going to be Logan
Watch
Williams
out.
taking the race lead.
And...
Whew.
Oh, really close there. I assume Lopez and Ayers, for instance, were some drivers who had to pit earlier for whatever reason there.
Whoa.
And, oh, 3 wide. Don't want to do that. That's a teammate.
Oh my goodness gracious. And yeah, I think I think Nick Lopez and Williams are probably a lap down or on the tail end. So I think it is going to be the 75 for this race win here late in the going. We got to see next time by if it cycles or not. But what a move from a lap car, we assume, of William Ayers. And
Wow.
yes, he's 2 laps down.
That was really close there. And as we saw there, Sucks Jericho's out there, as well as Williamson and Oskin, it looks like, from that lap 1 nail. Ayers is staying out, so there's that. Hernandez is up to 3rd there in the number 2 car. How about that strategy from Anthony Hernandez?
Great call from Hernandez in the number 2 truck. And for Echo Evans Wallace as the owner, Alexander battling for the 3rd place spot. You got Emily York Watson in 5th. Then Ben Watson and Roberto Connor Jr. Great strategy call from Roberto Connor Jr. doing the undercut up into the 7th place spot now. Santi Messi, Caleb Rose, and shout out to last week's winner, Shane Kane. Back-to-back top 10 one going here possibly in the number 13 truck. With Carlos Sustry in 11th, Bright in 12th. The Kubota truck of Sam Leo in 13th, Bradley and Duncan Wood. I don't think that 4-tire call is going to work out for him. He was in 5th and he's all the way back in 15th with just 3.5 laps to go.
Yeah, and the strategy not really working out there for Duncan Ward here. But for Carson Miller, it's working out really well here. And Alexander Rowe might be catching up here to the 17. Might make a move here into turn 1. And it's not quite over yet. Hernandez is back there, as is York Watson. So it's probably going to be a 4-truck battle here for 2nd place there. Looks like 3 trucks in there for P6 as well. No, it's not. But Crown did get past Benny Watson there for the 6th position.
Great one from Crown Jr. with that strategy call, and we gotta see how this all plays out. The 5 definitely did not help his teammate of Logan Williams, unfortunately, here. And Carson Miller has really pulled away on the long one here in the number 75. And I don't think he took 4 tires. I would assume he took 4. Maybe he took 4. I thought it was 2 tires, but maybe he did take 4. So Carson Miller is absolutely flying here in the number 75. Logan Williams in 2nd. Don't think he's going to get his first truck win, but he's going to go 8 4-11 with the top 10 streak. And he's going to have the most top 10s out of anyone leaving today. Alexander Rowe in 3rd. Hernandez in 4th. Emily Watson rounds out the top 5. And 2 laps to go here in a chaotic Willow Springs race for race number... Oh my goodness, we got skid marks in turn number 1 for race number 11 on the season.
Not sure. Yeah, I was about to say, the 41 car truck of Angel Gutierrez was down pit road. Something must have happened there. Coming off of pit road, I would imagine. And Williams is chomping down on the Spire Motorsport truck's gap there. Jericho, of course, got caught in the lap 1 wreck, but Juan Garcia, where on earth did he fall to?
So last
he wasn't even in the top 20th. Wow.
20th
Not
for Juan
sure.
Garcia.
Was he taking 4 tires as well?
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure what has happened here today. This has been strategy filled all over the place, but it will be the white flag for Carson Miller in the number 75. He was up front at Watkins Glen, but didn't quite get the result that he wanted. But it will be the Powerade 1 to go for Carson Miller in the number 75. And I was talking about how I'm excited what Charlie Davenport could do as a owner in the JBL Cup Series next year, and this is why. The 75 truck has had potential, has been a fringe top 10, top 15 caliber truck at times, and today, especially on the road courses, it's looking like a race win here at Willow Springs. Logan Williams in 2nd, and Alexander Rowe still in 3rd.
That'd be a good points haul there. Alexander Rowe not quite looking on 2nd place there for Williams. Doesn't look like he has enough time.
Oh,
Or
he is
does
going
he?
for it.
Or does he? He's sending it! Almost contact there between Rowe and Williams there. But Carson Miller, what a race there from that 75 team.
And you know what? You picked Carson Miller to win, and he is going to get the race win. Dominant performance all race long from Carson Miller in the number 75. Last week we had a rookie get the first win on the channel. It's not the first win on the channel, but it will be his first Powerade Truck Series win. Carson Miller will win the Kubota 175k at Willow Springs International.
Wow. What a performance from the 75 team there. Got the jump perfectly off of the 17 and didn't look back from it ever since.
A dominant one from the 75 amongst all the chaos at the start. Logan Williams, he went through basically hell and back in this race. Got bumped in from the rear end, got contact on multiple occasions, almost got wet on the final lap by Alexander Rowe there, and still gets the 2nd place one. Hernandez, another good one on the road courses here this season. Emily Watson, the same thing, outside the top 5. Kubota Crown Jr. and 6th, Ben Watson in 7th. We gotta watch out for Ben Watson as well. Was 5th in points, and he's gonna have a shot at this championship going into the final 5 races. Shane Kane, back-to-back top 10 in 8th. Santi Messi in 9th, and Caleb Rose will round out the top 10 in a chaotic race at Willow Springs International. Oh my goodness, what a race that was, Matthew. And it might have been dominated by Carson Miller, but it was close on that end of the cycle. And Carson Miller gets his first Truck Series win here in a chaotic Willow Springs race. What a race here today at Willow Springs International. And that's all I really gotta say. I knew that was gonna be chaotic, but not for quite like that. And I saw everything in the corner of the screen. But only 5 races to go here in the Powerade Truck Series. And unfortunately, with Jericho finishing in 30th, it's gonna be wide open as we go to a brand new track on the schedule of Pikes Peak next week.
Wow. This is probably gonna flip the championship contention on its head there, with Juan Garcia having a off day, to be honest there, and the problems with Chris Jericho there. Williams getting the second place run. Although he's 39 points back, it's gonna be a very close race there with, I want to say, 6 races to go in the Powerade Truck Series Season 6.
Absolutely. It's going to be fairly interesting of what ends up happening in the final 5 races. And this was 6 to go. And I've been saying, Willow Springs, in particular, this West Coast swing is going to determine who wins this championship. Because you got Las Vegas, which is a normal mile and a half, but then you got Willow Springs, which at times, we saw here today, can be even more chaotic than Watkins Glen. And then we go to Pikes Peak. We've never gone to that racetrack before in the Powerade Truck Series, and that is a big unknown. And then we got Talladega, so this is not over. It's been a normal first half, but these last 6 races are going to be fairly chaotic. And like I said, I don't know who's going to win this championship now. Jericho, he's been the fastest truck week in, week out, but Logan Williams might beg to differ with his 8th top 10 and 11 races. Duncan Woods will have a chance at this title, possibly. He didn't have a great one. Watson, Mendoza, it's going to be interesting. And you only have 5 races to go. Next week, it will be race number 12 at the Pikes Peak International for the first time ever in the Powerade Truck Series. And that one is going to be a fun one for the Kubota 175. So that would be a little bit of a longer one. I believe that's 44 laps there, so be interesting what ends up happening. There's just 5 races to go. Thanks for Matthew for joining me up here in the booth for a chaotic Willow Springs race here. And we will see you guys next week at Pikes Peak for race 12 on the season. And here are the points with just 5 races to go in Season 6 of the Powerade Truck Series.